Check, check, check. Check, check. So that's number 4. Number 4. You can hear me on this side? And on this one? Does this one sound staticky? Okay. Check, check.
Yeah, the headsets have to be plugged into here to be able to hear the station. But we don't have to have it. I mean, I can plug it in during the break so I can hear it. Okay. Are you using that one right now?
Huh? Yes. I don't know if the right headphones are plugged into the right ones, but it doesn't really matter, I don't guess.
Check, check.
Check. Check, check. All right, that's me. Check, check, check. Okay. I'm good. All right, and we're live on YouTube.
Mic check.
What's your close time to get done? I'm gonna use the other speaker for right now. These just went out for some reason.
The speakers?
Yeah, my speakers just went out for some reason.
Did you unplug something?
Everything's still plugged up.
Okay.
They were just working. Next thing you know, they just stopped using.
Can you?
Does quarter inch go into that speaker? Because you can take the quarter inch that you had in there and put it in that speaker instead. It doesn't have input.
What?
It doesn't have an input for it.
At all? What kind of input does it have? Anything?
All it has is for the mic.
But it's quarter inch, right?
Will it work in the microphone input?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're sending a signal into it. Take it out of there. Put it into the speaker. Undo the. Here. Yeah, do that. Here, that's it. There you go. There you go. All right. You getting this? I'm not hearing myself in here. I'm not hearing myself, and I'm not seeing the. Hello. Check. Check one. Okay, there it is. All right. Okay. Check. Check one. Check one. Check one. Okay. Check, check, check. Check, check. Okay, the delay is from here. It's okay, though. Oh, you're good. You're good. You turn it up. Yeah. Hello. Are we on? Yes? Hello and welcome to the Hillcrest Huddle. Brent Jones here with you from Walk On Sports Bistro, live on this Tuesday night, as we are every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. We invite you to come out and join us. The Hillcrest Patriot Nation is rolling in, but we still have some space, and we have, of course, some great food here for you and some great football talk, of course. We've got all kinds of great things coming up for you tonight on our show. We'll interview Coach Mitchell, as we always do in our first segment after the commercial break. We will interview our players of the week, and boy, let me tell you, the players of the week played outstanding games this past Friday night in the big win over the Florence Falcons, 32-20. The Hillcrest Patriots' first game in 7A. So The Hillcrest Patriots are undefeated in 7A. Our players of the week this week are Jordan Chambers-Smith on offense, the wide receiver who just joined the team this year. Jeremiah Beverly, the young sophomore defensive tackle who was just a beast on that D-line this past Friday night. And also Khaden Smith. Khaden Smith, the jack of all trades, who returned kicks the other night and was amazing, as he always is. So we'll talk to those guys. In addition to that, we'll turn our position spotlight on the inside linebackers. We'll have Coach Brae Sullivan along with his inside linebackers Brooks Fowlkes and Zay Hall. Let's see what those guys have to say. And to wrap up our show, we are going to salute the 6A state championship baseball team from last year, the Hillcrest Patriots, and their coach, Mark Garner. Mark will have a couple of his players on who were on the team last year and will be on the team again this year. We will honor them. We will talk about the championship season, and we will look ahead to the 2024-2025 baseball team. Don't forget that you can hear all Hillcrest games on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Well, I say here, I mean you can also watch the games right here on this YouTube channel if you happen to be watching on YouTube right now. Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. And, you know, this Friday night would be a great night for you to watch on YouTube Live if you can't make it up to Huntsville, Alabama, actually Harvest, Alabama, for the Hillcrest game this coming Friday night, because we know it's a 2.5-hour drive and it may be hard to get there. But you can catch all the action right here on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network, on Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network YouTube Live channel, on the NFHS network. You just search for Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, or you can listen on Mixlr.com, search for the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Any of those ways you can watch or listen to the game. We'll have the websites posted on the school's social media and, of course, on the school's website as well. Don't forget the Hillcrest Football Review Show. We have a new episode that came out yesterday afternoon. Coach Mitchell comes to the studio every Monday morning. We go through all the plays. He gives all his commentary, breakdown on everything that happens. It's very interesting to watch and to listen to Coach Mitchell and get his insight and commentary on what's going on. If you really are a Patriot fan, find the Hillcrest Football Review on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network YouTube channel. Before we move on to Coach Mitchell and our first segment, let's say thanks to all of our sponsors for the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. We have the County Commissioner of District 3, Mark Nelson. He brings us our pregame show and college picks. Bama Stuff sponsors our broadcast booth. Bama Express sponsors our keys to victory. It's the Hillcrest Tennis Kickoffs. Stephen Fikes Allstate First Downs. Dr. Brandy Patterson of Brookwood Women's Health Extra Point and Field Goals. Centel Home Design Red Zone. Tidwell Paint and Body Timeouts. Alabama Credit Union Coin Toss. Award Company of America and Walk-Ons Bistro Players of the Game. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you see the plaques that our players will be receiving here in just a few minutes. We have the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show, the RSV Design Scoreboard Updates, and the Two Gals Salon Stat Line. Our commercial sponsors are Tiger Rock Martial Arts, Lee Palace, Bama Stuff, Alabama Credit Union, and Ignite Student Employment Initiative. Lots of folks supporting us, and we appreciate all of you. Okay, so we're going to take a break now, and we'll return right after this. And right here in this chair next to me will be Coach Jamie Mitchell to talk about the big win over Florence this past Friday night and what we can expect this coming Friday night up in Harvest, Alabama. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle live on Tide 100.9 FM. Check, 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 check. You hearing it through the speaker? You had it coming through these little speakers before. Well, it's all right. It's far enough away that I couldn't really understand it, and it wasn't really messing with me, so I think it'll be okay. Okay, we are back. Hillcrest Huddle, Brent Jones broadcasting live from Walk-On Sports Bistro. Welcome back. We'd love for you to come out and join us. Patriot Nation rolling in, but still some tables available, and the special student menu for Hillcrest students only is available for you tonight, and they got a lot of good stuff for you, so you need to come on out and check that out. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you see that my good friend Coach Jamie Mitchell has joined me here at the table. Coach Mitchell, let me turn your mic on. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brent. Glad to be here.
All right, let me see here. There we go. Okay, Coach Mitchell, before we move on to the game this coming Friday night, let's do as we always do, and let's reflect back on the big win this past Friday night over Florence.
Yeah. You know, I got a lot of feedback here. Sounds like crowd noise. I don't know.
Yeah. I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Man, first game of the year is always exciting, and, we were jacked up and ready to play. I mean, it was great to be at home, and, first 7-8 game that we got a chance to play, and, I thought the crowd was really good, and, it was a game that, I felt like we certainly had a chance to put away, and we just kind of let them hang around, and no excuses for that. We got some young players, but, and not only young but inexperienced, but these guys have got to grow up in a hurry.
Yeah, you say that you had a chance to put it away. You're right. It seemed like we would jump out to these big leads, and then there would be big plays that would allow them to get back into the game and keep it close enough within striking distance. Do you think that's just a characteristic of a young team that just like misses assignments or loses track of where a player is or that kind of stuff just due to lack of experience?
Yeah, that's some of it, and, some of it's poor play, a block punt. I asked Greg Guy the other day, I think, this is going into our fourth year here. We'd had one punt blocked in 3 years, So,
yeah, I thought about that. That's a good point.
We just that we take so much pride in that. That's something that we just don't allow. And then, we give up a kickoff return for a touchdown. And, we put our defense in some really tough spots, just on some bad decisions. But at the end of the day, there's just no replacement for playing and getting kids out there against a different jersey. And, we can practice all we want, but, man, these guys are going to really get better on Friday nights during the game.
Now, tell me this, Coach. I know you give out grades for, like, individual players. You go through the film and give them – you give grades for, like, the offense overall, the defense overall, the special teams overall, that kind of thing? We
don't. All of our grades are handled very position-specific done, and our position coaches grade every single play. If there's a kid that plays – 1 snap or 50 snaps, those are evaluated as thoroughly as anything, and really that's where we find our players and who's going to play and who's not going to play, and but it is a very thorough process of evaluating film after every Friday night.
But no overall group grades? No. If you had to, just off the top of your head, what grades would you give the offense, defense, and special teams overall individually?
Probably C- offensively, C- kicking game, and probably a solid B defensively.
Okay, yeah. So the defense was strong. Just gave up that one big play.
Yep.
We were talking about that before, that it was, an 84-yard screen pass for a touchdown. Yep. You take away that, and what was it, around 150 for the entire game that you had given up?
And almost nothing rushing, and it's something that we hang our hat on. So, I do feel like they did a really good job. Defensively, that was a 3rd and 11 play that they scored on. We allowed them to convert some 3rd and 10 and more, which you just can't do. I mean, those are downs that you must win. So there's plenty of room of growth in all 3 units, offense, defense, and special teams. And, hopefully we're going to have another couple of good days of practice, and you'll see a better product this Friday.
Now, the old saying says the most growth happens from week 1 to week 2. Mm-hmm. Is that true in general?
Yeah, I don't argue that. I think you learn so much about your team in that first game. You learn, who can do what, and you'll find some guys that can't do what you thought they could do,
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of goes both ways. But, we do feel good about, some things that we've seen from Friday night's film. And, I'll be hugely disappointed if we don't see a marked improvement this coming Friday.
Right. This coming Friday, long road trip. Can you talk about, because I know this kind of thing gets overlooked. We talked about it on the pregame show today when we recorded that, but the logistics, everything that goes into putting together travel for this many people and this much equipment and so far and all that.
Yeah, we travel about 135 people, we've got well over 100 football players, and then, when you talk about managers, filmers, trainers, training staff, assistant coaches, it's a real job. And one thing that I love about our coaching staff is I divide up duties before the year ever starts, and so many of them have very specific duties that they're responsible for, whether we're playing at home or on the road or even during the week. And, man, they make my job so much easier. I don't have to worry about where we're going to eat. I don't have to worry about what we're eating after the game. Coaches that take care of every bit of that. They don't ask me. They do it on their own, and they do a great job of those kind of things. And, little things like laundry, getting laundry back home, getting it separated, being sure that you've got, a couple of extras of everything when you get on that bus, because inevitably you can holler at them as much as you want, and there's going to be a kid walk out and leave a knee pad or leave a girdle, and
so many details to take care of.
It is, so that list is really endless when it comes to trying to move that many people and be sure that you're efficient and having everything that you need.
All right, so hypothetically, we've made the trip. We've taken care of all the logistics, all the details. We get there. We're on the field. The game kicks off 7 o'clock Friday night. What are we going to see from Sparkman?
Well, we're a little bit unsure on that. Their quarterback looked to suffer a pretty significant knee injury late in the first half last week. So, man, you hate that for the kid. First of all, this is first game of the year,
Yeah.
But, on our end, we saw their backup play for a half. And so many times those things get turned around, and they go back this week and they change some things because they don't have their starting quarterback, which is very, very common. So
they could switch to a triple option for all you know.
No doubt about it, and so that keeps you up at night, just kind of not knowing what to expect from them offensively. Defensively, I think we got a pretty good radar on what they're going to do, and they've got an exceptionally good defensive end, and one of the better ones in the state of Alabama is just a junior, but he's a really, really talented player, and they're going to be highly athletic. I mean, they got a high level of athleticism in their players, and I think you're going to see that in every 7A game. I mentioned that last week. 32 to 20 last Friday night. I mean, I said that a week ago. 28-14 is kind of a big win in 7A.
Right.
You just are not going to run away from people. It just doesn't happen at this level.
Yeah.
So you better get used to some of those.
Right. Hey, I love it. Hey, I was going to ask you, you were talking about the scouting and what you have to do and how you're kind of shorthanded this week because you only got one game to go by, and also their quarterback is out. But how deep does scouting go in general? Do you just look at, like when you're playing a team in midseason, do you just look at their film from this season, or do you look for things that are tendencies of the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator from past years and that kind of stuff? How detailed and deep do you get?
The people, our crowd would have no idea at the depths that we go into when it comes to preparation and scouting. If you looked at our computer inside our huddle, you would be absolutely blown away. We get into National Federation video, things that we like to watch the game in its entirety on National Federation, so you get an idea of the tempo that a team goes at.
Right.
You look for sign stealing. It's a great way to to find signs on National Federation. So there's not a stone that goes unturned that that we don't try to prepare our kids for. And to me, that's our job, is to give our kids the best opportunity. You would not believe the volume of breakdowns, tendencies, the mathematics that go into all of that. It would astonish a ton of people if they could see the insides of that.
On a general game week, how many hours would you say you put in away from practice? How many hours do you put in doing your homework, doing your prep for the opponent?
We wash everything out on Friday night. I don't have our coaches come in on Saturday. However, they do. They start their grading process on their own. Sundays we start at 1:30, and we're usually there until 11 or midnight Sunday night.
Wow.
And then, every day, Coach Guy and myself, thank goodness we have an opportunity to sit together every day. And, we spend from about 10 o'clock till 2:30 pouring back into that. Coach Patterson's doing the same thing, trying to teach and trying to coach at the same time.
Right.
But, then what people don't see, too, is, those kids get off the practice field at 5:30 every day.
Mm-hmm.
Our coaches go straight into the film room, and we're there from – our coaches are still there tonight. We'll usually walk out of there at 8 or 8:30,
Wow.
2.5, 3 hours after practice, breaking down that day's film, comparing that to the game data that we have. Taking what's really unique is taking a practice rep off of our practice film and partnering it up with a game rep from there, so our kids get to see
how
what
it would
their
match
play
up.
looks like and what we look like,
Okay.
doing it. So, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
How much goes into that.
Pretty detailed and intense. It's not like it was in the old days.
No,
huh?
it's not.
Just show up and line up, and whoever's the toughest wins, right?
Yeah, no part of
You
that.
got to find every little advantage you can, right?
That's exactly right.
Well, you do a good job of finding them, that's for sure.
Well, we sure try. We work at it.
What are we in the past 2 years? What now after that win Friday night? 25-2, is that right?
Let's see. That would be correct. Yep, we were 12-1 and 12-1, so that's 24. Yeah, 25 and 25-2.
25-2 over the last 27 games. All right, let's make it 26-2 this Friday night.
Absolutely. I'm all about that.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks for joining us, Coach. We
You bet.
appreciate you every Tuesday night. We're broadcasting live from Walk-On Sports Bistro. Brent Jones here for the Hillcrest Huddle. We're going to take another break, and when we return, we're going to bring the 3 MVPs of Friday night's game against Florence to the table. We've got our MVPs on offense, Jordan Chambers-Smith; on defense, Jeremiah Beverly; and on the special teams, Khaden Smith. Those guys will be right here in just a couple of minutes. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9 FM. All right, welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you see that I'm having to break these guys away from their socialization to get them to come up here and talk on the radio with me. All right, no, it's just the three of you right here. It's just the three of you. We got it. All right, here we go. All right, guys, how's everything going?
We're going good.
Yeah, feeling good.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Talk for me there, Jordan.
Jordan here.
You good? All right. I got you now. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, man.
What's up? What's going on?
Man, I got to tell you, I'm excited about watching spectacular.
Yes, sir.
You guys on offense, the thing about you is it looks like there's not enough football to go around to all the weapons that we have.
Yeah.
You know, because if you none of them look really that inflated or that big, but if you put them all together, man, that was pretty impressive.
Definitely.
Jordan Hillcrest Patriot, what was that like? Tell us.
Super fun. Definitely a little different than anything I've ever seen before, but I feel like we play well as a team for sure.
Yeah, you sure. Jordan, man, you're just a jack of all trades. You're out there catching passes. You're holding on field goals.
Kick it clean, which definitely didn't happen, but that's what's
When did you start punting? You just been kind of playing around.
like. I could punt a little bit, and he was like, "We try it out," and then didn't really go well. To see you punt a little bit, so did that.
And now here you are punting for your high school team. That's awesome. Now, you had a few great catches, but the touchdown pass in the end zone,
Yes, sir.
where you dragged for us.
So I believe I had a corner it actually was it was a fake. So basically, I just faked the block, like I was blocking for Khaden, get open, march through, got my feet down, got the catch, got the touchdown.
Do you do any drills like that where you try to the ball's going out of bounds and you try to drag your feet?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We definitely during practice. Sometimes we have periods where we work on getting the foot down,
Right.
possibly stand in bounds.
Well, Jordan, I got to tell you, man, awesome game. It's great to have you as a Hillcrest Patriot. We love seeing you. You remember running into me
Yeah. Yes,
over near Billy's Sports Grill?
Yes, sir. Definitely, yeah.
I was like, hey,
First
who's that
time.
kid wearing the Hillcrest gear?
Yes, sir.
Introduced. Yeah, and you're playing with your little brother. You look like you're a good big brother.
Yes, sir. Great.
All right, guys, I'll move on to you. Khaden, all right, we already know about you. We didn't really know. Just picking up where you left off from last year. Speaking of jack of all trades, you're out there running the ball, you're catching passes, returning kicks. So what's it like to have that many opportunities in so many different ways to touch the ball?
It's definitely a lot. I mean, it definitely gives me a lot of opportunity to show what I can really do. A lot on me, where you're like trying to remember all this stuff, wide receiver, running back, all this punt stuff, special teams, really a lot. So I just got to really stay focused and during the week just to remember all that good stuff so I could go to the game and dominate.
What's the difference this year from last year's team?
I would say it's a little bit different, but like last year, we had a lot of weapons like that, so trying to share the ball. I would say it's similar to this year. We're still trying to figure out how we can spread that ball around and give it to our best players and just go win games and stuff like that.
Here's something that Coach Mitchell and I were talking about earlier today. We were saying, okay, Bryson didn't have his best day, right?
Yeah.
We know he'll have better days. It wasn't a horrible day, but it wasn't his best day. But it's good to have other weapons to lean on if you're not having your best day, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
All right, so you're the special teams player of the game. So I got to ask you about your special teams play. What do you like about returning kicks?
I want to return a touchdown. That's why I like returning kicks. It's definitely nervous looking up and then you can't see who's coming to hit you. That's the nerve-wracking part. But I peek down a little bit. My biggest fear is dropping that ball. You won't hear the end of it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It seems to me that your strategy is, as soon as I catch it, I'm not looking to see where to go.
Yeah,
I'm just catching it and going.
Yep,
just like depending on your instincts and going north and south. Am I right? Is that what your strategy is?
Yes, sir. It's a feeling thing. You gotta feel like where the people are at.
Right.
You gotta that's something you gotta grow into. It's not like something you just get right off the bat. You just got to grow into that. But, yeah, my favorite thing is just, like, returning the ball, scoring a touchdown. It's a great feeling ever.
But you got that touchdown call back.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Like, when I was running, I heard the clap in my ear. I looked back, and I just see dude on the ground. I was like, oh, I know this coming back. I can't do no touchdown celebration.
Well, it was a great hit. Unfortunately, not a legal one,
Yeah,
right? And you didn't need it.
Nah, I didn't
You still
need
could have
it.
scored without it.
Yeah, he had a bad angle. He wasn't going to tackle me anyways.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, well, can't fault the effort, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jeremiah Beverly, defense. Talk about what were you feeling it? Were you just like in the zone this past Friday night? Because we saw you play some pretty good games, but this year it's like you came out there ready to dominate.
Really, it was just I said I come out there to dominate. I don't want to have no bad instincts, no negativity. I want to just come out there with straight positivity, man. I don't care how small I am. I don't care if you think I'm fragile. I don't care about none of that. I'm coming for your heart.
It's all about what's up here in your head. See that? And you're kind of scaring me the way you're looking at me right now saying of linemen in the trenches. Speaking of intimidation, does any kind of like conversation or anything go on there in the trenches?
Don't gotta say nothing to me. They won't speak. The niggas speak. I'm gonna still go through them.
All right.
Me just knowing that I'm relentless in my ability to move, and they can't keep up with that.
2 more years to watch you play,
He's a
Jeremiah.
really good
That's
player.
awesome.
Thank God.
Guys, thanks so much. Great game. We got you. And they want to get a picture with you so they can post you on their social media and
Sounds
website.
good.
Cool?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Great job. Hey, you're also good on the radio, too. The game from this past Friday night against Florence. It's Jordan Chambers-Smith, Khaden position spotlight. Our position spotlight will be on the inside linebacker. Them right after this. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 109 FM. All right, we are back at the Hillcrest Huddle live from Walk-On Sports Bistro. Brent Jones here with you as we are every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. We'd love for you to come out and join us, Patriot Nation. Got a good crowd that rolled in here tonight. and we would love for you to join us every Tuesday night. Quick reminders here before we get to our position spotlight with the inside linebackers. I want to remind you about our YouTube live channel. Please click on it and subscribe. It's the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. You can catch all things Hillcrest football on this channel. Obviously, the Hillcrest Huddle every Tuesday night live. Every game every Friday night at 7 o'clock live. And also the Hillcrest Football Review with Coach Mitchell that we record every Monday. Now, this would be the perfect time because I know that we of course encourage you to come make the long 2.5-hour drive to Harvest, Alabama and Sparkman High School, but I understand realistically that not everybody can do that. If you can't, that's okay. Tune in to the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. We bring you every play, and you can just watch it live on YouTube. Now, I'm sorry that Brad Armstrong has to be there with me. You know, it's in his contract, and we have to have him on the air. But don't let that be a deterrent for you to watch. No, I'm just kidding. You know I love Brad. Okay, but anyway, join us for that. Okay, let's move on to our position spotlight. Inside linebackers. Very, very important position. And we have here Coach Brae Sullivan. We have Brooks Fowlkes, also an inside linebacker, and a guy I was just asking if he was going to co-host the show because he was on it last week too, Zay Hall, the two main inside linebackers for this team. Guys, I'm going to start with Coach Sullivan, and then I'm going to move on to you. Coach Sullivan, how do you feel about your group's performance this past Friday night? Well, hold on. Let me turn your mic on. That might help. There you go. Now.
There we go. I can hear myself. Okay. It was good. I thought that, first game coming out, two guys that have played a decent amount of football, but not really in that role for us. I thought that they played well. I thought that they got us lined up and made the right calls for the most part. Obviously, things to improve on, but considering first game, they both graded out pretty good. So kind of give them a good thumbs up, but still room to improve.
Gotcha. What do you think the strengths of your position group are, your particular guys?
So we got a good balance here. Brooks has been in our system for since he was a freshman, and has been in the inside backer position since he's been a freshman. So he's very well versed in being like the mouthpiece out there, and Zay's growing in that role. But him coming in and later in the summer, he's kind of still figuring some things out, and but getting to the point where he's comfortable calling it and getting everything lined up. But obviously, there's one that's a little more athletic than the other. Zay can really go sideline to sideline and make some plays that maybe Brooks might not be able to make. So they complement each other in that aspect of one being the more mouthpiece, being more vocal, getting things lined up, right, and then the other one going and being the playmaker.
Right.
Not that Brooks can't make plays.
Absolutely. Well, he made several the other night.
Yeah, I don't want to get mad at me.
Oh, yeah, he's doing great. What do you see as the main job of the inside linebacker?
Yeah, this is very cliche, and they hear me say it all the time, but you got to be the quarterback of the defense. Okay, you've got to know, like our D line, they've got their thing. The secondary, they've got their thing, but we've got to piece everything together, especially at the inside backer position. So we have to know everybody's responsibilities. We have to know where everybody's at, and it's a lot on them up front. I blame them. They get blamed. And then they're going to get, they might not get the blame from everybody, but they're going to get it from me. Right. So it's important for them to know what everybody's doing to be, effective in the position. Gotcha.
All right, guys, I want to move on to you. You've been in this system a long time, right?
Yes, sir.
This is your year to shine, so to speak. What's different about the inside linebacker group this year as opposed to past years?
I just think that...
Hold your mic a little bit closer to your mouth.
I just think that together as a group, we're a little bit younger than the past groups that we've had. But I do think that we are a group that's determined to get where we need to be and make the plays that need to be made. And I think that we got that grit and that strength to go out and make plays and held everybody accountable on defense. Like Coach said, we're the quarterback of the defense. So.
How hard is that? Does that mean that you guys, since you're the quarterbacks of the defense, do you guys have to study film more than everybody else and to know more than everybody else?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because whenever, just like you said, whenever somebody's not lined up, the coverage slant gets busted, it's on us.
So how much time do you spend each week studying film for the opponent?
Well, I like to start my day off. I like to go to school, and then after school, I got to block off before practice. I get into film, get in the scouting report at the beginning of the week, and then just throughout the week, whenever I just catch myself sitting and get in that film, and just be able to pick out the little pieces that the other team to give away plays, especially formation recognition, and just be in there to make plays.
Right. All right, Zay, your first time to play a game as a Hillcrest Patriot.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the experience and what that was like.
It was a good experience, man. It was different. We held them out except one big play they had, and it was great and fun, man. Great environment, great atmosphere, great to be playing there.
What do you think the strengths are of the inside linebackers?
Obviously we young, but the knowledge we have, and we still building and growing as together. Cause I just came here, we still making that brotherhood, and we still bonding. But we young, we got a lot of guys who do good things, and we still learn.
All right, either one of you guys, if you had to tell me one thing that Coach Sullivan over here emphasizes more than anything else, what would it be?
Knowing the playbook, knowing the whole defense. As inside linebacker, you got to know what everybody doing on the field. You got to know what D-line doing and the back end doing. You got to know all of it, and especially your part too.
And running to the ball, getting to the balls.
Yeah.
Big emphasis on him.
It's up to you guys to make the tackles, right?
Yes, sir.
D-line holds it up, and y'all go in and make the tackles.
D-line be making most of the tackles too, though.
They do, I tell you. They make the job easy for y'all, don't they? You're like, hey, I was there to make it, but you already made the tackle,
yes,
right? Tell me what you know about this. You have to do all the studying. What do you know about this Sparkman offense?
I know their quarterback just got injured the past game, I think. And I know they got some athletic guys on the offense. I know they O-line like to have tight splits. Most of their run game come from like zone and stuff with the H-back and all that. For real.
Yeah, they really like to run the zone. They play with the H. They got that. We're thinking they got number 5 at quarterback. He's a left-handed. He likes to run it, pull it out of the pocket. So I think the emphasis would be doing your job and being disciplined and playing to the Hillcrest standard.
Yeah, read your keys.
So, Coach Sullivan, what do you think about the answers they're giving me over here?
Good answers. They got a pretty good coach, I guess, coaching those guys.
I guess so. You guys were awesome. Only gave up, I don't know what the exact number is, 150-something yards. If you take away the 84-yard screen pass. I know you can't take that away, but still, we'll give you a mulligan on that one play, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, guys. Great job. Looking forward to seeing y'all play Friday night.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Brent. Appreciate it.
All right, that's our inside linebackers on our position spotlight. We're going to take a break, and when we return, we're going to bring to the table some guys from the 2024 6A State Championship baseball team. We're going to celebrate them, and we're going to talk about what they have coming up this coming baseball season. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9 FM. How about that? I know y'all can't hear that, but they're playing Free Bird
Nice.
on the radio to intro us.
Nice.
Finally got some water. Woo, mouth was dry. Anyway, welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle. Brent Jones here with you on Tide 100.9 FM. We've been talking football. We talked football the whole hour last Tuesday night. We've talked football the whole time until right now. But now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the boys of summer. I guess the boys of springtime in our case, right? We've got 3 guys who, I guess you don't have your rings yet, right?
Not
and
yet.
I wish you could hold up your rings and show them, right? But we got one guy here, Coach Mark Garner, who owns Blue Map, right? You got that hanging in your office, Coach?
Right now it is, yes.
Okay. And tell me who your guys are that we have here.
All right, we have 2 of my seniors. We have Noah Latham and Rhett Turnipseed.
All right, Noah and Latham, welcome to the broadcast. All right, here's what I want y'all to do, and y'all can just jump in and share however you want to. I want you to relive from the start of the season last year to that final pitch, that final out of the state championship game. Just kind of in a nutshell. And Rhett, you might want to put your mic a little bit closer to your mouth there. There you go. Yeah, that's good.
I'll let them run with this. This should be interesting.
All right, well, we start off every year pretty slow. It's kind of apparent, but we play a lot of good teams. We work hard all preseason. I think we do a good job. Our coaches get us prepared, but we play a really tough schedule the first 3-4 weeks of the season, and it really prepares us. And it's tough sometimes. We started 1-6, but you just have to overcome those things, and it progressively gets better. We do hit a little roadblock in the area. I'll let Noah start to comment on area. Noah, what you got on area?
You can skip that point if you want to.
It's a touchy subject, but kind of like Rhett said, he schedules hard games through the beginning of the year. He wants us to, face good competition. But we did start out 1-6, and that's pretty bad. But I don't know. After we kind of lost Northridge and couldn't win area, I think that kind of lit a fire in us as a group, as a team. And I think for me personally, I'm kind of glad we lost because that, lit that
Refocused
fire.
you, right?
Huh?
Refocused you,
Yeah,
right?
And once that started, we didn't lose a game the whole month of April. We just kept fighting, kept playing good. But yeah, like he said, it's a tough schedule. It's going to be tough, and I'll let him continue.
I'll say this, man. It was a blast. It really was. When the boys have said it twice already. When you start 1-6, you really start questioning where you're at. But
right. But you seem to do that every year.
Well, if you listen to what they said, the teams we scheduled, you got to be on top of your game to beat the teams that we play at the beginning of the year. And if you look at their schedule, we went to Mississippi and went, what did we go, boys, 0-4?
0-4.
And all 4 of those teams were playing very late in their playoffs, if not in the championship game. And that's the caliber that we play over there.
Right.
But, when we were 1-6, we put it on them, and to say that in a way that they answered. We had a good leadership, not only good leadership, but we had a great group of boys that just knew that they were better than where they were, and they just kept working day in and day out. And we took it. We took it one game at a time. We literally took it one game at a time, and we knew that we wasn't going to be able to come out from 1-6 without doing that. And
it's a cliche,
yeah,
but
it was a cliche, but
the cliches are cliche because they're usually true.
That's right. But man, April and May was a blast. These guys competed their tails off, and we went places that we were underdogs most of the playoffs, and they continued to answer, and we were underdogs in the championship series. But what they did was. It was remarkable. It was a joy. It was, they made their community proud. They made their program proud. They made their parents proud, and left another legacy for these guys that are coming up behind them. So it was a great, awesome season.
Was there any point during the season, like where you could feel like, okay, this is it, things are clicking now, and that confidence started developing? Can you pinpoint one point in the season where you just knew that things were changing?
Well, I'll say all regular season, it obviously was questionable after area, but we went to Faith Academy knowing who they had on the mound, what kind of lineup they had, and what was going up against us. And we started off game 1 hot, and had bats rolling. Evan Williams, our one pitcher, pitched a great game. And then we had game 2. Spencer was lights out. And I think after Faith, the chemistry was unreal. It was unreal all season, but especially after that round 1 win, it was unbelievable. And I think that after that round 1, beating Faith, who was, I think, 3rd in the state at the time in 6A, we were clicking, we were rolling, and we knew we had potential to take it all.
Did you ever feel? I'm sorry, you were going to say something. Noah, go ahead.
No, let's go ahead.
Did you ever feel doubt and uncertainty and lack any confidence at any point when you had the tough start to the season?
Going back to Mississippi. We had, I think, 3 one-run games. We should have won. The first game we played against Northwest, we were up the last inning. They walked it off, and then the second game we only lost by 3, and then the last 2 we lost by 1. We knew we were a good team. We had to get stuff clicking. And then back to about the Faith game. That was a tough series. They were number 3 in the state, and everyone didn't think we were going to win that game. It was a hot day. It was rough, but after that, after we got the sweep, I was like, man, we can do this. We looked at the schedule, looked at the teams that's lined up to play us, and we knew we had a good shot at winning it.
Tell me about some of the greatest individual moments of the year.
Okay, of the year.
What stands out when you think back on this? Obviously, you're going to think back on the championship series, but throughout the season, what things stand out?
The boys mentioned the Faith series a little bit ago. When we go down there to them, which is obviously a long trip that you got to travel all day for, and they're the number 3 team in the country, and they're throwing these Auburn guys and Alabama guys, and everybody in the state is kind of knows, and they're picking them, and their record is good, and they got other good players that are going places. But our guys, when they stepped off the bus, you could tell they never wavered from the very get-go. There was a confidence going in there that they knew that they had to, this is it. We've got back to a point, but this is it, okay? And then for them to show up in the manner that they showed up, that just wasn't a normal series. Our guys came out and beat the number 3 team,
right.
All right, at their place, driving 4 hours to do it.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it was okay, line up who's next.
If we can do that,
yes,
we can do anything, right?
Line up who's next, and and obviously you get to the championship series, and you play in that, and a lot of different things happen, and then the one thing that stands out was obviously, you guys have seen it, was the grand slam by Jackson Henderson, and the at bat, and just watching the video and seeing how he just took in the moment and didn't make it too much, and we've watched it back again, and it's just, the special moments are made from special people doing special things, and that's what that day was. It was a miserable day. It was drizzling all day. It was supposed to be 100% rain, and but man, it didn't end up a miserable day. I tell you that right now.
Yeah, watching that, and the camera work that the guys from whoever it was that did the broadcast, the camera work that they had with the multiple cameras, that close-up they had of Jackson as he stepped out of the box. I know y'all have seen it. He steps out of the box. He looks at his bat. He holds his bat up. You can see him take a deep breath. It's like, I got this. I got this. I talked to Jackson about it. He said, I was thinking, if he throws me that curveball one more time, it's going out of here. And guess what? He did, and it was gone. That was an awesome moment.
And and I'll say this real quick to add on to it. A lot of people, obviously people don't see all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but these 2 guys right here have played with us since the very beginning, since they joined the program. But Rhett over there, he's played the whole playoff series with a broke hand, the whole playoffs, and nobody, he did not make an excuse. He showed up every day and worked. And Noah was the guy that was on the mound to get the last out. And we didn't require Noah to pitch a whole lot this year, just in real little small increments. But when we needed him in the biggest part of the year, the competitor came out and he stepped up and did what he was supposed to do.
That's awesome. All right, so last year's over now. We'll never forget it. Celebration continues. Go down in history as one of the greatest moments in Hillcrest sports history. But you got another season on the way.
That's right.
So let's kind of shift gears and let's talk about the season to come. First with you, Coach Garner, what's your assessment of what you got coming back this year?
These kids have I've been around these kids for a good number of years. These kids, but I'll say it this way, because I have one their age, and I've been able to see them grow up and mature and coached a lot of them for a lot of years. And I like it. I like this group. I like these older guys, these sophomore, these juniors and seniors. And but every team has its people. It's just a matter of how hungry are these guys going to be after what we just went through last year to be able to bounce back and achieve something of their own, separate from what we did last year. So, and I think these two guys are here with me tonight because they're two that are different. They're two that have that hunger every day, and I don't have to ever question it. And they're the type of people that's going to lead us. So, how can they make the rest of these guys reach with that same level that they do every day? So I like it. It's a fun group to coach. Hopefully they'll answer what we throw at them.
What about expectations, guys? After winning a state championship, it's obviously the ultimate goal and you achieved it, but it can have some negative effects. It can have the negative effect of, hey, we're the state champs, we got this, and we don't have to work as hard, It'll just come to us because we're awesome. You get a little bit of the big head a little bit, right? Or also, another negative effect can be the pressure that you feel and the expectations that other people have on you since you've achieved the ultimate goal. Talk about that.
Well, I'd say that, it's easy to get complacent when you have such a moment of success, but I also feel like it's kind of, I wouldn't want it any other way, having going up a level to, schools are probably going to be better. I wouldn't want it any other way. I think we've got an opportunity to do something.
That's a good point. 7A this year, right?
I don't know that anybody's ever, won a state championship, moved up the classification, and won another one. So, I think it's
there's some great motivation for you right there.
I don't think it's a burden or anything. I think it's an opportunity. And, I think you mentioned pressure, and pressure is a privilege to us. If you're not in a position to where you have pressure or something big to work for, I don't think it's really.
Why are you playing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what do you think, Noah?
Same thing he said. When you say complacent, you can be really complacent. Just won a state championship. It's kind of easy to be complacent. But I think it's a good challenge. Moving up to 7A, it's a lot harder teams. It's going to be a lot tougher. But this group of guys is special. I know we can make a deep run. And like he said, no one's ever done it. Move up to 7A, win it again. And this is a great team. I think we have a really good shot of winning it.
All right, sounds great. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. It's wonderful to be sitting here at this table talking about the fact that you are 6A state champions. And I can't wait to see y'all play again next year. I hope that it gets to the point that we're doing those broadcasts again for those semifinals.
And thank y'all for doing that.
Oh, yeah, it was a blast. I loved it. Wish we could have done the championship series. But thanks again, and congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
All right, that's our defending state championship baseball team here tonight at the Hillcrest Huddle. Don't forget, coming up this Friday night, Hillcrest travels to Sparkman High School in Harvest, Alabama to take on the Sparkman Senators. You can join us if you can't make it. You can join us on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network and catch all the action. Thanks for joining us here on the Huddle tonight. We'll see you again next Tuesday night from Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Good night. Yeah, man, thank you.